Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is Clans of Belari number 3. An interesting series from AfterShock. It's written by Peter Blackie, Rob Blackie as well. Daniel Maine is the artist, Carlos Lopez the colors, Taylor Esposito is the letter. So this is a series that it's got some really good ideas. It's funny, it's like I know some folks know my tells, and that was probably a big tell. It's a series that has a lot of good ideas. I just don't think it's necessarily executed in the best way possible. There's a lot packed in here, and there's kind of a lot promised, but it hasn't really come into like the really interesting stuff. We have kind of two major stories going on. There's this girl named Taya who wants to be a pilot, and through some machinations of her adoptive father gets put into like this pilot program. And then there's this douche who wants to be like a clan leader, and then by some point in this issue decides he wants to be bigger than a clan leader and pretty much just run the whole shebang. So we have these kind of two stories that are starting to come together. But the thing is in the first issue, and I would say issue and a half, like the focus is that this is this repressive, horrible society. We're kind of set up in the concept that this is going to be, I think, a revolution, story about revolutionaries. That this is a story about a few individuals who kind of like notice that this society sucks and throws off the shackles and want to overthrow everything. That's not what we're getting. And that's kind of what I think the story was pitched as, and I think that's part of my frustration, because that would be a good story. Instead, we're kind of getting like Taya is her training. And of course, she's an amazing pilot and like the best out there. Like we can't have it any other way. Brash and gets in trouble and doesn't follow orders. She's Maverick. She's Han Solo. She's every stereotype there is when it comes to that. And then we of course have the person who's like, I want to be a clan leader, and then when he starts getting the ball rolling is I want it all. Like again, a trope that we've seen God knows how many times, so we just can't stop when they when they get to that next level or like see themselves at the next level. So now like I don't think the series is like really delivering anything interesting or new anymore. Just those two stories have come together, which is fine. But like the really interesting stuff were these seven clans I think, and the people who like clearly aren't too big on that and like break the rules, they do all these things that are underhanded and against the rules. The interesting stuff, like that's been thrown to the side. So like to me, the interesting stuff isn't being focused on anymore. It's just falling into these like storylines we've seen 20 million times, and so far it hasn't been presented as anything necessarily interesting or new. So for me, it's kind of, there's just nothing necessarily, that's getting me excited about the series. Like again, and I've said this about the first two issues, is overall this would make a way cool RPG setting and world way more than it does entertaining comic, and I'm sticking to that. Like I want to see an RPG set versus the comic. And I might read, like, the source book of that RPG, and I think that's what's funny, is I'd be more interested in reading the source book than the comic at this point. So, it is what it is. It's a little frustrating, but, again, it is what it is. Out now, you can go get this in comic shops. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links. There'll be affiliate links, so, we do get a small percentage by doing that. You help support our site, though. And speaking of support, I want to thank AfterShock for hooking us up with the review copy, and thank you all for watching. If you want the latest AfterShock news, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com, or any comic news in general. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.